Hello, I'm the Greek Geek because I'm 50% Greek and 100% a geek. This is how you start off a cinematic universe. You start off with the first movie, you make it interesting, you have interesting characters, an interesting premise, and you go from that. You don't try and make the entire franchise in the first movie. And with this movie, I would actually be interested in seeing a cinematic universe and spin-offs to this movie. Let's get into it, shall we? Cecilia Cass is in an abusive relationship with Adrian Griffin, and she manages to escape from him. He does not like that. And when she's staying with a friend to try and get away from him, some weird shit starts to happen and she starts to lose her mind a little bit. Elizabeth Moss plays Cecilia Cass and she does a fantastic job in this movie. Her acting ability in this was fantastic and I really enjoyed her performance. Just the way that she is and is trying to make sense of what's happening to her and this mental breakdown that she's basically happening and the character development that she goes through and all the ordeals. Fantastic. Oliver Jackson-Cohen is Adrian, aka the Invisible Man. He's not in the movie that much because you can't see him, obviously, but he doesn't have that much dialogue in the movie, only a bit at the start and then some at the end, and his performance was pretty good as far as I can tell. He did a good job as portraying just this narcissistic, egomaniacal character. Aldous Hodge plays Detective James Lanier, and he's the friend of Cecilia and takes her in to look after her. He also has a daughter called Sydney, played by Storm Reed. They both did a good job in the movie. I believe their relationship as a father and a daughter and a friend to Cecilia, they had some good chemistry, all three of them, and I really bought into their relationship. We have Harriet Dyer as Alice Cass, and she's a sister to Cecilia. Liked her performance too, and we also have Michael Dorman, who is Tom Griffin, which is Adrian's brother. I really liked his performance as well, just how he's been psychologically abused by his brother as well, and he resents him for it. I liked his character as well. The acting in this movie was top-notch, and I enjoyed everyone's performance. This movie is so goddamn good at building suspense. Just the lead up into it's, and this, I'm glad to say that this movie doesn't solely rely on jump scares. There's a couple in here. They're not as gimmicky as they are in other horror movies. This one really builds up to it, and it kind of happens when you least expect it too. But the build up to it is just, they strain it out for so long. There's so many tense scenes in this movie. And this movie is really, really scary. And I like how they make you know that the Invisible Man is around, how they focus on areas where there's no one there, but you're just thinking, well, obviously the Invisible Man is there. Unlike in Hollow Man, this Invisible Man actually knows how to fuck with people. He does a lot more interesting things other than just being creepy. He will turn the stove up higher to burn food and just put things around the house to mess with people. Just, that's what you do when you're invisible, just to fuck with people and make them question their sanity. And this movie seems to have a theme of the hold that someone has over someone else when they're in an abusive relationship. Like, they just can't let go, and it's just a whole big process to try and get over it. This movie is very violent. Very, very violent. Lots of blood in a lot of places. And I just enjoyed the scenes where Cecilia is struggling with the Invisible Man. Like, she's just struggling to fight against this opponent that she can't see, and she's struggling to try and overcome him. And I like the punches and the blows of different pieces of things being struck against him. Everything felt like it had a lot of weight behind it and felt really real. And when the Invisible Man is going to town on some security guards, that was really, really cool as well. Just the way he took these people out and they couldn't see where he was and they're just trying to figure out what's going on. It was really, really good. There is some really dark, foreboding music. The music just really sets the tone of the movie. Just this, not completely in your face, but this music that just makes you know that something isn't right, and the Invisible Man is just around the corner and he's around, and just when creepy stuff is happening, the music really adds to the atmosphere of the movie, which was composed by Benjamin Wallfish, and he has done music for many, many, many other movies, so he is a seasoned veteran of making music for many films. The cinematography was very good. I liked the focus of the shots in doorways and in rooms where there wasn't anyone there. You'd see someone walk away, leave the frame, and it would hang there, and you're just like, I know he's there somewhere, he's around, and I was constantly looking for clues, little movements of things, or trying to figure out like where exactly he is. And there are hints as to where Adrian is, the Invisible Man, is from time to time. Like, for example, when Cecilia goes outside and you can see the warmness of her breath, and you can see his behind him as well. And in nearly every scene, I was trying to look for hints of where he was. I did see some. I missed a lot of others, but if there's some you noticed in the movie and you could tell me, and so when I rewatch it later on, I can see it then. So I would really appreciate any comments. So I would definitely recommend this movie. I'm actually very impressed it was done on such a low budget. It was done on $8 million, and it's going to make many, many times over its money, I think. So hopefully that means that there's a future for this franchise, and there'll be other Dark Universe movies in the future. We'll see what happens, but this one is fantastic. If you love horror movies, science fiction horror movies in particular, then this is the movie for you. So I highly, highly recommend it. And as always, thank you for watching me ramble on about a movie for a few minutes. I really do appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.